Okay, everybody, welcome into the oh boy, I almost called it the high noon stream. That's not what this is. This is the Pillow Talk stream, the second of two streams that we do each and every day here at the Radio Misfits podcast platform. First one is, of course, high noon. That's myself. Hi, Pugs Moran here. Glad to be with you. I do high noon every Monday through Friday, noon till whenever. Typically, about today we had an incident. There was a bit of a power failure. We had some problems, and so it was only about an hour and a half today. But typically, you'll get you about noon to 2 o'clock Monday through Friday right there at high noon. That's topics, that's current events, that's headlines, trends, whatever it is that people are buzzing about. If it's happening in the world on that day, I'm going to touch on it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to provide you with a nice little cheat sheet for you. This is the second stream, Pillow Talk. This comes on at 9 o'clock every night. We do it with James Parker. It's more conversational. It's Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk. Look at him. Oh, look at how little he is. Look at how little. Oh, isn't he cute? Look at little cute James. Look at you, little cute James. Look at you. Why are you
Is
so
that adorable?
Why are you so little?
Because you control the buttons over there, and
I didn't see him. Look at him. He's a
the
good
little guy.
Yeah, there you go. Hold on. I don't know why that would be. I don't remember making anybody. There he is. That's the guy we know. Do you remember that Rob Schneider sketch on Saturday Night Live, Tiny Elvis?
I do remember Tiny Elvis.
It's the entire sketch. At some point during that work week at Saturday Night Live, there was a room full of people, and somebody said, "Anybody got an idea?" And Rob Schneider stood up and said, "What if it's just me doing Elvis, but I'm tiny?" And they approved that.
And they said, okay, I tell you what, there's other people who pitched ideas, and Tiny Elvis beat them, and they're like, what the hell was wrong with me?
Right.
You didn't like my idea, but Tiny Elvis is okay? God, how low am I on the totem pole?
How bad was the rest of the writing staff? What were they? What nonsense were they? Although, in all fairness, that sketch was so absurd. It was funny because because
Tiny Elvis. Oh, I remember it. Yeah, look, sometimes that can carry a whole sketch, just an absurd premise.
The whole premise of it was he was Tiny Elvis. He was on the dashboard of your car. And as you were driving, Elvis would like just be standing there on the dashboard, almost like surfing, if I remember correctly, like that's how he was doing it. And all he did was he would say stuff like, "Hey man, look at them fuzzy dice hanging there. Look at them. Man, them things huge.
Things are huge, ain't they?"
Like
look at that right there, man. That is huge.
Look at that thing. Look at them car keys, man. Look at them car keys. Them things huge. Because I'm Tiny Elvis. It's so stupid. Yeah. What are you going to do? How was your day, James? Did you have a good day?
Yeah, I had a good day. This is like the kids are back in school now. So I am back to what's kind of normal, where I have the house to myself all day.
Oh, okay.
And my wife works from home half the time. So today was one of the days she actually went into the office. So I was like literally by myself all day. And that just hasn't happened in a really, since May, it hadn't happened.
What do you do? You get into any weird stuff? What do you do all by yourself? You walking around naked? What do you do? What do you do when you're all by yourself at the house? How do you celebrate?
For the most part, I had to work. But I did eat like a random bowl of ice cream at 11 in the morning.
You can do that. Nobody's got to know.
Had some magic show with it, so that was pretty sweet. And
on a Thursday, no less.
Yeah, and I didn't really get dressed all day. I'm wearing t-shirt and like soccer shorts. Like that's
those
what
are the
I wore
best
all day.
Days. Dude, those are the best days when you barely get dressed. When you're just
I don't get to do that a lot.
Shorts and a dirty t-shirt all day.
See, this is what my dad gets to do every day. This is my dad's life ever since he retired.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I actually had work to do, but like this is how he dresses like all day, every day. He's just gone into he's earned it.
He has.
I don't know. Well,
that's
look,
what getting old is all about. You don't have to keep up with fashion anymore. You bought pants. Here's something you and I don't understand. But when we're 60 and we need to go run up to the store, we're gonna reach into a drawer, a chest of drawers, maybe you call them. You're gonna reach into wherever, and you're gonna pull out a pair of pants that you bought 40 years ago, and you're gonna put those on, and you're gonna wear them to the 7-Eleven in 2040, and people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, look at what!" And you're not gonna care. because you're like, you're gonna be like, I'm James, I'm 70. I don't buy pants anymore. I bought pants back in the 2000s. You know what I mean? So
Yes, I'm past that pants problem. Well, look, my wife's grandfather just died last year, and he dressed nice. He dressed with his shirt
okay.
tucked in, a button-up shirt every day, usually slacks. I mean, every once in a while I would see him in shorts, but it wasn't until like the very end when he was doing the pajamas all day thing. And when I say the very end, I mean like the last 3 months.
Yeah.
This is a guy that dressed nice, put on nice shoes just to go out to eat. My dad, not so much.
Dirty jeans and some tennis shoes.
Well, during the summer, I haven't seen him in pants. So we're talking like big baggy basketball shorts. Like remember and one? I don't think they still make and one, but
They actually do. And
they do. Okay, because my dad has some of them.
as funny as that is, James, I'm wearing and one basketball shorts. Hold on, let me get the
Oh,
logo.
is that right? You and
I'm
my dad,
actually,
huh? Okay.
my and one is my son's favorite brand. He loves all the and one.
I thought they got in trouble for something. Isn't there like a Netflix special on what really happened, the real story behind and one?
I don't think that's and
And
one.
there's like
I
a
think that's something
private
else.
jet and a penis involved. I'm sure that's where they always end up somehow.
I don't know, but I don't know. I still see the gear. No, I'm sorry. And one. I confuse and one with Under Armour. I'm wearing Under Armour, and Under Armour is my son's favorite brand.
Yeah, big difference. So
Yeah.
look,
Now that I think about it, I guess there is a big difference. I don't know what and one is now. Now that I think about it, I thought it was Under Armour. Go ahead.
all right. Do I need to go Google like what perverted thing? I
No,
think it was wasn't there like a sex thing that happened?
maybe we can figure that out. Do you want to do a monologue today? I saw that you didn't send me a monologue cheat sheet.
It's not quite ready. Can you just like keep small talking for another minute? Because I
I
also
can
wanted.
I can keep small talking because go ahead, you put that together, and I want to talk about what I want to talk about today. There's been 3 consecutive shows now where I've been loaded for bear because I've wanted to go into something I wanted to talk about, and I didn't get to. So I would like to utilize a little bit of the time today in the next 42 minutes or so that we have, whatever it is, 42, 50, 52. 52 minutes we have. I would like to do I fell down a wiki hole the other day, James, inspired by you. Not a wiki hole, this was a YouTube hole, inspired by you entirely because you had brought something up on one of the shows last week, and I don't remember what it was, but it spurred something that I wanted to go look something up on YouTube, and then I just fell into a hole. And long story short, I ended up watching YouTube video compilations of like, okay, so here's a 3 hours of 1980s commercials, just commercials from the 1980s, right? So I just found myself watching these things. And James, I've selected a few that I want you to see. There were products that were like big products in the 80s that don't exist anymore. Like entire industries that are no longer a thing because somebody invented something. And now all of a sudden, MCI doesn't exist anymore. That was a major corporation, MCI. There's also, so I got a couple of these I wanted to show you. And then I wanted to have a conversation with you about 2 things. One, there is a new docuseries on Netflix. And as we all know, everybody loves the docuseries Netflix. Have you heard anything about or seen any of the trailers for the new? It's trending #1. It's like the hottest thing on Netflix at the moment. The new docuseries, The Girlfriend Who Wasn't There. Have you seen anything on this?
I saw an ad for it.
Okay, so I watched it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's only 2 hours. It's 2 episodes. Each episode is 1 hour. So it's basically just like a 2-hour documentary. But do you remember the Manti Te'o story
Is
from?
that what this is?
Yes.
Okay.
This is so Manti Te'o
What was her name? Leia, or Leia?
her name was
Lilo?
Leilani, whatever. So
Leilani, that's what it was.
now that
Look, I'm not crazy. There is a documentary. It's a Netflix original documentary called The Untold Rise and Fall of And One. Untold, the Rise and Fall of And One. There you go.
All right. I'll look that up because that'll probably be interesting. I confused and one with Under Armour. Anyway, so I watched.
Same thing.
I watched both 2 hours of this. Manti Te'o, for those of you who don't know, he was a standout linebacker at the University of Notre Dame. He was one of the top 5 Heisman Trophy finalists invited.
It's a good school.
He's a linebacker. He's a linebacker. He was a Heisman finalist. So, I mean, trying to show you how big of, and his team was undefeated that year. They played in the national championship.
Well, up to a point.
Up into a point what?
Well, they didn't finish undefeated.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's a lot of what this documentary is about. I mean, Manti Te'o was their best player, and let me just put it this way: his head was not in that game. There
No,
was
that's a
other stuff
wild
going on.
story, man.
There was
Wild
other stuff.
story.
So he became famous nationally, not just in the sporting world, but he crossed over into regular mainstream conversation because he was not only the standout football player, but on one single day in November of last year, he lost his grandmother. And then 6 hours later, he lost his girlfriend. And of course, because he was having such a good year and it was Notre Dame, everybody in the sports world started talking about it. Could you imagine, James, losing your grandmother and your girlfriend? So he sort of became lionized as this, like, the new the mythology of Notre Dame, whether you're talking about, win one for the Gipper or Rudy or, Joe Montana, the comeback kid, any of these iconic Notre Dame legends, right? Manti Te'o dedicating the season to his dead grandma and girlfriend and then, having this incredible year. That's part of the, it was all a lie. As we learned, Deadspin, who is not even a thing anymore. Is Deadspin even around? Didn't Deadspin get destroyed by Peter Thiel or something? Or Hulk Hogan? Didn't somebody kill Deadspin?
I think that was BuzzFeed.
No, it wasn't
No,
BuzzFeed.
not
It was
BuzzFeed. Maybe it is
Gawker. It was
Gawker.
Gawker.
Thank you.
That's what it was. Yeah, okay. But Deadspin was a part of the Gawker family.
Yeah,
so
Peter
it's spun
Thiel
off.
had like bankrolled a Hulk Hogan lawsuit because he smashed Bubba the Love Sponge's wife.
Yeah.
Wasn't that? What a great story. Let's do that one next show. Jesus. Okay.
So anyway, I want to spend a little time talking about this new Manti Te'o documentary, The Girlfriend Who Wasn't There, because James, it is awesome. It is just one. I mean, I don't remember ever having all the details of what happened presented to me in the way that it is in this 2-hour documentary, because it unfolded over the course of like 3 weeks to a month. So it was just like little pieces. So we never really saw all the info and went, whoa, is this a crazy story? It's crazy as hell. You'll enjoy it. It's called The Girlfriend Who Wasn't There, Manti Te'o. But the first thing that I wanted to ask you about, because I don't think we've ever had this conversation, and I think we need to try and figure out what happened here. So CNN's getting rid of a whole bunch of people. CNN's blowing people out left and right. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to learn that Don Lemon has been jettisoned from the CNN family. We will see. God, I hate that guy. So they fired Brian Stelter today. They fired Chris Cuomo, but I don't even count that. They fired somebody else the other day. Jeffrey Toobin has announced that he is leaving. His new contract will not be renewed by CNN. So that brings me to my point here, James. What do we think happened with the Jeffrey Toobin story? I mean, really? What do we really think happened? James, just to remind people, what am I talking about here? What did Jeffrey Toobin do? Because I got the facts and I have the stories.
A few months into the pandemic, when everyone's doing everything on Zoom, Jeffrey Toobin was caught spanking his monkey on a Zoom call with a colleague from CNN and I think 2 people from the New York Post. And one of the people from CNN, the other person from CNN was a woman. And I think one of the people from the New York Post was a woman. And they keep bringing that up. Like, it's okay if you just spank in front of 3 dudes, like, I mean, I guess it does make it a little bit worse that it's a woman and kind of gives him motive.
Wait, you're getting way downstream. This is what I want to do. This is the conversation.
He spanked on a Zoom call. That's
okay. There you go. Spanking on a Zoom call. Let's stop right there. Let's just work with those facts.
Okay.
So what do you mean? Like it was and then boom, hey, Jeffrey's here. And then he went, look at what I'm doing. Was it like that? I mean, let's do the context here. What do we think really happened? Is Jeffrey Toobin an incorrigible sex freak who was turned on by the idea of masturbating in front of his coworkers? Or was he just horny? As he says, he thought the call had ended and he started to jerk it, which is far more. You're asking me to believe that Jeffrey Toobin is a weird, twisted sex perv, which could be possible. Those people are out there. Or was it really just that he's a guy in his 50s who doesn't really get Zoom and he accidentally left the camera on while he was doing? But what do you mean? Was that after the call? Like, did everybody go, okay, bye, and then everybody hangs up? And then
well, I also think there's a middle ground to where he doesn't think the call's over, but he thinks his camera's off. And so he is getting off what spanking
So
while
he is a
listening to
twisted sex
this.
perv. So you're saying that this was really all about him having this dark, weird
Well,
fetish?
not all
'Cause I don't buy
twisted
that. I
not
think
all
he's just a
twisted sex
square who got
pervs
caught.
not all twisted sex pervs belong in the same category. Some of them would like other people to see it. Some of them get off by the fact that they can't see it, but they're doing it while they think they're just having a normal conversation. And then there's
Okay, I'm not
the
looking for a breakdown on sex pervs. You are saying that he falls into the sex perv category. You are 100% that this was something that he
no,
knew
no,
was a
man.
turn on?
No, no, no. I'm not sure at all.
Because I think he's just a regular guy who jerks it, and he's old and doesn't understand Zoom
okay.
and
So
uses the same
right
computer to jerk it that he uses for work stuff. I mean, I can
now,
see
that's
that happening.
possible. That's quite
Not
possible. But
me.
the evidence that brings people away from that conclusion is the fact that the camera was on his junk. Now, why was the camera below here? Look at us right now. This is
Okay, see,
how.
now that's interesting. Now I don't know that. This is the first time that I'm hearing that the camera was actually trained on his penis. I had not heard that before. I thought it was just a silhouette, like he was seen in a silhouette, like slightly off camera, but it was obvious what he was doing. I don't know. I don't
So
know.
the other person from CNN never commented on it. A person, the woman that was on from the New York Post was the one who said she could see that. And
Yeah,
so then the question is, well, was it just down where it was framed on his, his
right.
region there, or was he like 6 feet back or in a stool? So it had his head in there, and he just didn't know because he thought the camera was off, or maybe he just pushed back. And look, you can see a whole lot more when I push back. And so if I'm kind of doing this, was it just that we
No,
don't know the
no.
framing of the Jeffrey Tube and Spank video, but we do have evidence, or at least someone saying, I don't know if she's lying or not, whatnot, but it's all we got.
Why would she lie? Why would she lie? The story sells itself. You don't have if there's a shred of truth to
Well,
this, then you don't have to.
again, she's probably not lying, but there's like a 10% chance that wants to make it as salacious as possible because she's going to have a civil lawsuit, and no one's even going to believe her if she says she didn't see it. She just thinks he was spanking because I don't know, his mouth was open, he was breathing hard. I mean, what's her evidence there?
Yeah, I don't know.
So look, we really don't know. So I don't know if she's lying, and she's probably not. I'll agree. But the fact, if that being true, that is
Oh, and by
hard
by the
evidence
way,
against.
by the way, hold on. Just it does need to be noted that none of this is us speculating. He has flat out admitted that he was doing it. It's not up for debate. It's not like he claims he didn't do it and people are saying, no, he says it was a mistake. He's humiliated by
Yeah,
it and he thought the camera was off. So he isn't, we know what was being done. That's not even up for debate.
yeah, yeah. Well, all true. So the question is, did he just think his camera was off and he was spanking anyway? Did he think the call was over and he was spanking anyway? Or did he really have it on and have these people see it? And maybe he just thought he was showing the one person. That is another, branch on the theory tree that could definitely bloom. But worst case scenario is he put the camera on himself, knowing what he knew. He did what he did, and then he makes this stuff up after the fact. So he doesn't get charged with freaking sexual assault, basically.
Well, here's all right. So I'm just trying to figure out how I move forward with Jeffrey Tubin being a human being who I coexist with on the planet. I don't really have a take on him. He seemed fairly credible about the stuff he talked. He seemed to know what he was talking about. I don't know. I guess he's a polarizing figure simply because he's on the news channel that is a polarizing news channel. So I don't
Mhm.
have like a hot take on Jeffrey Tubin before this, right? Like before this, I wouldn't have gone, I hate that guy or I love that guy. I don't care. He's just another one of these guys that pop up. So moving forward now, it really is going to make a difference for me if I convince myself that he is just a normal guy in a loveless relationship, probably been married to the same woman for 30 years. He's not into her anymore. He's a normal guy. He doesn't really get all, he was forced to do things because of the pandemic, like Zoom calls and stuff that are really outside of his technical comfort zone, but he's doing them anyway. And he just got a little confused and he screwed up and he's embarrassed and it's a humiliating thing. And oh my God, he'll never live it down. That's one path. But then there's the other path. Like, do I need to move forward thinking, Oh no, man, this guy is like raincoat dude. This is like a guy who in a different era would be walking around the city streets in a raincoat, flashing and then, pleasuring himself. So I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this. I'm trying to figure out how I move forward with Jeffrey Toobin. What do I think of him as? Raincoat dude or just, you humiliating oaf, you humiliated fool.
Well, he will never say that he did it on purpose because that's literally a crime. So
Well,
he
yeah,
has all the
well, he
instant.
masturbated on purpose. He's admitted that he
Right.
was
Yes.
intentionally masturbating, but publicly showing it to his coworkers is what you're saying he'll never admit to. Yeah,
And how do you not know the
it's a
meeting's
sex
still
crime.
going? They're still talking. So the one that makes the most sense is he thought his camera was off, or maybe his camera's on some sort of flimsy stand like this, and it just slipped down in the middle of the act, and he didn't notice. Like he kicked it with his foot because he's getting a little excited. So that's best case scenario out of what's plausible, not what's
Look at this
possible, but
one.
what's
Look at the
probable.
screen. Look at Byron. I think Byron's got a good one. He had another window open with a cam girl.
No,
He just got
I don't
confused.
buy that because look, I consider myself a little hypersexual to a pervert even, but there's no way I would do this. There's no way I would spank on a Zoom call. There's no way I would even mix any of that with anything work related. And I wouldn't have if I'm doing a Zoom call. I'm not going to have another camera open with like porn in it or another window open. I mean, with porn in it. Not no. While I'm live on national TV, while I'm on CNN, oh my God, no! You
See,
clicked the wrong button.
you're at a greater risk than I am this because you're a bit oversexed. You're still like you're a bubbling cauldron of testosterone. Whereas I'm not really like this would honestly never be something that could possibly happen to me. It would never be a situation where I'd be like middle of the day work call, think I'm gonna go rub one out. That would never, you maybe though, because you're oversexed. You might go into the other room. I'm not saying you do it in the camera. I'm just saying I would never have the urge to masturbate in the middle of the day. That's just not who I am. So.
Right. So even somebody like me thinks, wow, you were doing that on a Zoom call, or you were even doing that adjacent to a Zoom call. You were,
It's weird, right?
yeah. And like I said, even the most probable of the scenarios in my mind is that he thought his camera was off, but he was just going to get away with it. Maybe he thought he was on mute too, or something, or maybe he was on mute. And he hit mute and he thought that turned off his camera. But that belies the fact that he's still spanking on a work call, which is that's way beyond anything I would do or have done.
Well, we don't have to worry about him anymore because he is gone from CNN, Jeffrey Toobin, and also today, breaking news, Brian Stelter, gone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage here, the Comfort Nest Lounge, high atop the One Percenter compound in beautiful downtown Highland Park, Texas. He is our master of ceremonies, going on 3 decades now, started here back in the late 1980s. We'll 90s. Say the 80s. Not would it be 90s? 3 decades.
That would be 30 years.
It would be 30 years. 20. 30,
I don't know.
90s.
Who the hell knows?
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage funny man James Prescott Parker.
Prescott, I like that. Kind of the floor.
Oh jeez.
Oh jeez.
Yes, you can have the floor.
It's the thing you ask for every day.
Look at how little he is. Look, he's just a little guy. Oh, there he goes.
Is it funny? I'll do it like this if it's funnier. All right. Hey, economists report. You're a beautiful crowd, by the way. Economists report another increase in shrinkflation. Pugs. That's when products shrink, but prices stay the same. I noticed this at lunch. I went to Subway and got a $5 inch long.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh, that's a staple joke. That's just a template. He just lays that template and fills in whatever the news of the day is. Love that joke.
I'll do another one Monday. All right. The economy, though, it's continuing to struggle besides shrinkflation. To give you an idea of how bad it is, Nicolas Cage is drinking Mad Dog.
Okay. All right.
Bad economy.
Explain that joke to me. I don't get it.
Nicolas Cage is a raging alcoholic who also has financial trouble.
In a movie? That's not the real story of Nicolas Cage.
Oh, no, he does. He has a raging drinking problem.
He does?
Yeah, and money problems.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He owns a pyramid in New Orleans that he's going to be buried in. It's like
that's why you hate him, because you want to own a pyramid. You're jealous that he's living your pyramid.
I do, but I don't hate him, nor am I jealous of him. I wish him all the success in the world. I wish I could live that life. New research shows that despite conventional wisdom, Pugs, your metabolism does not slow down in middle age. It turns out you're just a fat ass.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Iowa State Fair is offering something new. It's the OMG chicken sandwich, a fried chicken breast battered with frosted flakes, topped with bacon and syrup. And instead of buns, it has glazed donuts. Also, in a related story, the most popular ride at the Iowa State Fair is the ambulance.
Oh.
Got a stroke.
That sounds terrible. Run through that again. Tell me the ingredients again.
Okay, so it's a fried chicken breast battered with frosted flakes, topped with bacon and syrup, glazed donuts for buns.
Oh, no, that sounds. Oh, you know how sweet that sounds? That sounds gross. Ugh,
That
okay,
does sound
go ahead.
gross. The Global Citizens Festival returns to Central Park next month. They're having the headliners Metallica, Mariah Carey, and the Jonas Brothers. So, man, this really sounds like a good show, except for Mariah Carey and the Jonas Brothers, and really kind of Metallica too. I don't know. They all suck. New research shows that 80% of teenage boys are using condoms the first time they have sex. The findings are based on a survey of 1,000 teachers.
Okay. Right. I was a thinker. I didn't see that one. It snuck up on me.
Right. It's misdirection there. According to Globe magazine, Will Smith is now packing on the pounds. To give you an idea of how big he is, he's starring in a new show coming out called The Fat Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, and that's not like a Netflix or HBO Max. That's going to be a Hulu, isn't it? Doesn't that sound like a Hulu? Today is Black Cat Appreciation Day. This year's theme is Black Cats Matter.
Oh,
I know.
it's okay, folks. You can give it to him. Give it to him, folks. You can. Yeah, that's it. He deserves it. Racist.
Oh, I know.
Racist.
Racism's so important. And finally, happy birthday to Belinda Carlisle of the Go-Go's. I love Belinda Carlisle. I don't want to say she's getting old, though, but she and the band have a new song called Our Hips Are Fragile.
Oh, that one hurts. Oh. All right.
It's pretty stupid.
That was terrible. 10 seconds. Give me your best hot take on Belinda Carlisle. Go.
Belinda Carlisle, absolutely gorgeous. I thought it was one of the better conversions where you're part of a pop band and then you try and break out and do something solo, and usually it just doesn't work out. Well, I thought hers did. I'm also surprised that she didn't have continued success. I thought, like Justin Timberlake or Harry Styles, or, these guys that pop out of these bands and they end up having their own career. I thought she would be one of them. I saw that
she couldn't have been Sheryl Crow. She couldn't have. I mean, she had a couple of hit records.
Yeah,
she had a couple of hit solo records. Just never. She got married and she got into like a relationship with Pat Denuzio from the Smithereens, and then he died or something. I don't know. Whatever. Life gets in the way, James.
Byron brings up a good point. She did Playboy.
No, she didn't. Did she?
I saw
really?
That.
Belinda Carlisle did Playboy.
I think so. I think I saw that one too. Redhead. I saw she had gained weight, but it was one of those situations where, maybe she looks better with a little weight. Maybe she looks all right with a little 20, 30 pounds there. What the heck?
Well, that's what I was asking you about, because Belinda Carlisle, there are 3 stages of Belinda Carlisle. There is Belinda Carlisle just before the Go-Go's got big and as the Go-Go's were getting big. That's early stage Belinda Carlisle. That was a heavyset girl. That was a very heavy.
What?
Oh, yeah. Belinda Carlisle.
I did not know this until you said it right now.
Early Go-Go was a heavyset Belinda Carlisle who wasn't really all about
early Go-Go. She was in the Go-Go's and still heavy.
Oh, yeah. The Go-Go's.
How did I not see this?
The Go-Go's were not hot in the very beginning. They were like punk, scagly. Yeah. So, but then they got really famous and the record company went, you know what, Belinda, you're really pretty. Because she is. Her face is really pretty. They're like, you know what, Belinda, you're really pretty. And now you're like a big rock star. So you're going to change your look entirely. And that was middle and end stage Go-Go Belinda Carlisle, who was smoking hot, who was really, really attractive. Then we got into solo, where she left the band and she had her solo albums. That was her at her zenith. That's when she would have done the Playboy, when she went red, when she had red hair.
Bro, I still don't know what Circle in the Sand means. What the hell is that even talking about?
What is that? I don't know.
It's one of her songs, Circle in the Sand.
So, I don't. Belinda Carlisle songs. What is? I couldn't. I don't. I do love the Go-Go's. I mean, sentimentally, I love them, but I couldn't name them. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth.
That's a good
Right?
one.
Wasn't that her
Yep.
big one? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. That was huge. Huge.
I don't know any other ones. They say in heaven, love comes first. I'll pull up
Man,
some
I was
early
in like fifth grade
pictures.
or something when that came out. That was huge. Huge.
Hold on.
Anyway, so those are the first two stages. What is stage 3?
No. The first stage was early Go-Go. Second stage was successful Go-Go's, and third stage was solo smoke show redhead.
Well, is she I thought there was another stage where she went to like hippo mode or something.
Well, no, I think that's what you might be describing, and having seen her recently, where she's now, she may have just naturally gone back to the fact that she's a big boned girl. That's probably how they
Well,
described her back
last
in.
time I saw her, and it's probably been a decade, she was not fat, but she had put on weight, and it almost made her look better.
Well,
You know
here,
how
let's
some
look at.
chicks, like Mariah Carey, actually looks better now than she did when she was 18 and we first met her.
I don't know that she was fat. She was pudgy, though. Okay, so here you have her in the bottom left. This is the
What? That's
Go-Go's.
Belinda. I've never seen this Belinda Carlisle.
Okay, but this is like second stage Belinda Carlisle. This is where the record company went, let's make her really cute. Let's
Let me see her
really work
chunky.
on. All right, I'm
Let
trying
me.
to find. There she is, kind of. She's in the green in the middle. You can see she's got a bit of a belly. She's wearing the belt. There she is, a little heavy too. That's kind of
Yeah.
early Go-Go's. There she. I mean, look, man. I mean, she changed, right? Like she became a glamour girl, and this is not. There she is. A little heavier there on the left, early Go-Go's. I feel terrible saying this is heavy. This is why women have eating disorders, right? Because she's not fat. She's
Oh, stop it.
woman. No, look at her. This right here. This is early Go-Go's, and this actually no. This is middle
She
term
doesn't look
Go-Go's.
heavy
This
at
is
all
when they
there.
put her on a diet. This is when they started to try and make her into Madonna. There she is in the background. Look, you can see she's got a pudgy face. I mean, I think she's absolutely
I
beautiful.
like that face.
Yeah, I do too. I think. All right, how about this one? Look at her here in the middle. This is not a good look. Doesn't she look like she's in a cure? She's in the middle.
How did I miss this? The Go-Go's are just a little bit before my time.
Yeah, maybe.
Because her solo stuff was that when I was in like 5th and 6th grade.
Oh, here, look at her knees. God, I hate to do this. Like,
why? Right? This is so mean.
Belinda Carlisle's
At least
beautiful.
you get to be the bad guy for one show.
Well, those are. I could remember back. She's a beautiful woman. She was the coolest girl, right? She's a cool chick. She's lead singer of the Go-Go's. She was I'm sure she was desirable. But here, okay. So now let's do this. Now let's see. Let's see how she turned out, right? So we've seen those early pictures, right? So now let's. Should I pull up Playboy? Should I say Belinda Carlisle Playboy?
No.
No, we don't want to do that. Okay, pussy. I'm not afraid.
Fine, do it.
No, it's too late.
Thank you.
All right, so this is probably, look at that, right? Look at that. That's after 20 years of being a rock star and having millions of dollars.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah,
that's just fine. Yeah, that's great.
Look at that. Look at that. That's yeah, she's all right. Look at her. Oh, she is. She had such a nice smile. And still, she's still pretty. There is a documentary. I know why I started talking about this, because about a month ago, I watched the documentary on Showtime. There's a new documentary about the Go-Go's on Showtime, and they interview Belinda Carlisle now, like today, like this year, Belinda Carlisle 2022. And James, she is a cougar. She is a cougar smoke show still. She's like sitting there, and it's like, ooh, it's, you know who else I saw recently who is also amazing still? How do you feel about Susanna Hoffs? You got any takes on the Bengals lead singer Susanna Hoffs? Walk Like an Egyptian.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know her.
Manic
Bengals had
Monday.
a few songs.
Bengals had a lot of hits, man. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of when's the last time I saw her, if she had blown up or cracked out or something. And I don't know. I don't know.
She didn't. She's still good. Let's see what why not, since we're doing it. Let's pull up Susanna Hoffs, right? Let's see how the Go-Go's are keeping pace with
the Bengals.
Yeah, let's see how the Bengals are keeping pace. How do you spell Susanna?
I don't know. S or Z? Probably Z.
I'm just gonna spell it wrong and hope that Google knows what I was going for.
No, look, Jeff looks pretty confident over there with the SUS.
What's he look pretty confident about?
SUS, Susanna Hoffs, the way he spelled it.
All right, here you go. All right, so here's a recent Susanna Hoffs. You're gonna be pleased, James. Look at her. Yeah.
Oh, that's damn good.
Still good. Still good. She's
and
probably,
what is she, like 60?
She's closing in on 60. Yeah. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. She's closing in on 60, Susanna Hoffs. See, this is what I'm talking about. When I bash Madonna for not aging properly, I am talking. She could have done Susanna Hoffs. Susanna Hoffs aged appropriately. She looks like a beautiful, actually, I mean, she looks great for her age, right? And I guess that's the goal that we all shoot for. We all want to look great for our age, but she's not. You know what Madonna did to celebrate her 64th birthday, James? Was it 64? Yeah. You know what Madonna did? She made out in a club with two 25-year-old women. That's not aging gracefully.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to be hot anymore. It's okay if you're not the homecoming queen when you're in your 60s.
It's just
so I'm so jealous because we talk about, whoa, we shouldn't make fun of women like this. This is why they have eating disorders. But then we talk about how these women are growing old gracefully. Look at us, dude. By the time I'm 60, 7 or whatever, I'm gonna look like Willie Nelson. And everyone's gonna make fun of me and tell me I look all ate up, or I look like the first 10 minutes of Benjamin Buttons or whatever, or you look like the Six Flag guy, and no one's gonna come defend us when people make fun of us. No one comes and defends the guys. Oh man, that's an unfair body type with all these superheroes out there. That's why all these guys are shooting up testosterone.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about that lament that, one day we're all going to look like trash. That's only a problem for people who were ever handsome or attractive. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of us out here who were never attractive. Even in our prime, we weren't we weren't crushing it. So getting old doesn't scare me. Doesn't bother me. I'm just going to look even weirder. Hey, James, let me get into something here. I want to show you. I told you I fell through a wiki hole the other day.
Let's go. The 80s commercials, right?
Yeah, it was a YouTube hole. I found this commercial. I wanted to show you this commercial. I singled this one out. Hold on a second. Yeah. All right. I singled this one out. I don't know, James, I don't know what product this is. I don't know what they're trying to sell. Here it is, 2022. This is from 1983. And I remember this commercial. So I remember this being a legit product, but it's not around anymore. And I just want you to watch it, and I want you to tell me, what is this product? What do you, based on everything that you know as a modern man in 2022, tell me what is this product?
In the future, the post office may be obsolete.
Letter? What does it let you do?
I lost the
MCI mail can be delivered instantly in hours or overnight, and can cost up to 90% less than overnight mail.
Life was tough in the old days.
And very weird.
MCI mail, the nation's new postal.
Okay. Okay. So this is 1980. Are we having connection issues?
We did for a second, but you're back now. And that's a teletype system. It's sort of like a precursor to a fax machine, but instead of sending an image of the document.
Right. Well, hold on, wait. I wanted to lay down some points here because I do remember this era. You just hit on it. This was before the fax machine. This was a couple of years before the fax machine. This was a good 15 years before the first person ever got email. So what the hell are they? Now explain to me go ahead. Explain to me what this service was. I don't know what they were selling here.
I think they still had one of these like in newsrooms when I was a kid, and the fact that you could send a message through something that was very much like a modem. It was just through screeches on the phone, but each screech would tell a typewriter or a printer for dot matrix printer, obviously not an inkjet, but one that had the type wheel on it, and it would let it know what letter or what character to hit. So it wasn't sending an image of the documents. It was just sending basically instructions for how to type it out. Letter, space, letter, space, carriage return, letter, space, whatever it was. And so it was typing out whatever the message was getting.
So it would print out on a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Using the phone lines? All right, never mind. I don't care that much. I'm already bored. It's archaic technology by today's standards anyway.
I am stuck. Hello, 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 hello. All right.
James, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's happened. This happened earlier this afternoon, so problems. We got some kind of problems. I don't know why. It can't be said that it's on your end because this exact same thing happened yesterday or today during the
Yeah, it's the chintzy infrastructure of Highland Park. Oh, what? Did he freeze up again? Dude. I guess Pug's computer's all busted. Pugs. Pugs. Wanted to see what else he had pulled. Well, still says we're live. I guess I should just sit here and talk to y'all. Waiting on him to come back. Hey, it's just me and you. Every time he plays stuff, it crashes. No, he had played that whole thing before it crashed, right? I don't know what to tell you. You want to play name that tune or something? We can do that. Here. Until Pugs gets back, we'll play Name That Tune. From what TV show is this?
Hi, James, are you here? What's that music you're playing? I can't hear you.
Yeah, that was the theme from Airwolf.
Oh, okay, cool. This happened earlier today, and now your voice is messed up. Okay.
Would you have noticed this though? Would you have known this song?
No, I would not have.
All right. What about this one?
Yeah, this is Knight Rider.
Oh, okay. So you can do this.
Go ahead, go ahead, try and fool me. I'm a child of the television era. never in a million years gotten 21 Jump Street. Never. Oh. Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny, the greatest sitcom of all time.
Oh, that's it? That's the greatest sitcom of all time?
I think so. I'm settling pretty comfortably. It's been a couple of year process of me being comfortable with the idea that I'm moving Seinfeld out and Arrested Development out, and I'm making room for It's Always Sunny. Yeah. Bad 80s show. I don't know. Generic bad 80s show. What's that one?
Hello.
Yeah, what was that one?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was American Gladiators.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Was that a little after your time? I think you might have been in college.
No, yeah, that was right. That was drinking beer late at night, watching people hit each other with giant
I bet
sticks.
you can nail this one.
Chips.
Did you get it? You say chips?
Yeah.
Man, listen how time specific that is.
Al says it sounds like gay porn. It does. It all sounds like porn music from the
For about 10 years, they were. Yeah. You want to keep going with my stuff, or you want to crash your computer again by playing?
Yeah, I want to crash it. I'm gonna reassemble everything. I'm gonna crash, reassemble everything, and make sure that we're good for tomorrow's noon show. And we're gonna give me more.
Okay.
If you're in doubt about angels being real,
oh, I know what this is.
I can arrange to change any doubts you feel. Wait till you see my Gidget.
You just said it.
There you go, Gidget. Yeah. All right. At some point on a lot of these, they're probably going to say the name of the show. So at that point, I'll have given up. All right. What else?
Yeah. You can't.
Gidget's before my time, but I know that song.
Some of them are easier than others. What about this one? I think it's gonna say it right off the bat.
Give me a break, I should be.
Screw that one.
Thank you for being.
Oh, Golden Girls.
Yeah, everyone likes that one, right?
Golden Girls, that's a big one.
You just want to keep going down the row here?
Yeah, let's go. Let me hear.
Let's see.
I'm not doing nearly as well as I would have bet I'd do. I Dream of Jeannie. Boop, boop, boop,
Yes,
boop,
more
boop.
easier than others.
Hill Street Blues. Oh. Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, you didn't think I was going to get the engine roar of the Hardcastle McCormick machine?
I think you would have got. I knew you'd get it, but that fast is what impressed me.
Hogan's Heroes.
Is that too easy? Just too damn easy. This is a tougher one.
No idea.
MacGyver?
Yeah, no. I never watched MacGyver. It's still MacGyver?
No. This is. I think this is actually from a movie.
Was it like Bridge on the River Kwai or something?
I know. Very funny.
It's a World War II movie.
It was something narrated by Sam Elliott.
Oh, it's it's that one. Bonanza, Ponderosa, Gunsmoke, Sizzler.
Magnificent Seven.
Oh, there you go. All right, I know that's not a TV show. I was thinking TV show.
I know that's not a fair one. I hear you.
Oh man, I can't believe I didn't get the Magnificent Seven one. I love that movie.
The what?
The Magnificent Seven. I love that movie. Frasier. I don't know.
Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, I don't care.
Anything?
To be healthy.
No, here. Let me close out. Let me play something for you. Have you seen this? Here, since I just made mention of.
Good night. Oh, that last one was NYPD Blue, not to torture everybody here.
Yeah. Here, let me show you this. Let me take the floor. Have you seen this yet? I saw this the other day. I think it's been out for, I don't know, maybe a week, but somehow I missed it. It's the new trailer for the reboot. Have you seen this?
No.
Okay.
There's going to be a
so
trailer
did you know?
reboot. No.
Did you know there was a Frasier reboot coming?
Is it going to be like the prequel to before he went to Cheers?
No, it's here you go. Here's the trailer, the new trailer for the Frasier reboot coming soon.
Good night, Seattle.
I've wanted to talk to you about this all week, but...
Daphne?
It's about your brother.
What? I saved you. Resurrected you from the ashes. Those people would have killed you. I have been at that with interest. Everything can change.
And maybe I seem confused. Yeah, maybe, but I got you there.
I am very disappointed.
But I don't know what to do with those tossed salads and scrambled.
You can bring me back what I want. You won't have anything to come back to. You're dead! Your families are all dead! You ever met! Do you understand me?
They're calling again.
They're not rebooting Frasier. That's hilarious.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So obviously that's not real. They spent some money and they got all of those people to get together on a Saturday afternoon and shoot that. I mean, that's well done. I got to give them credit on that. I mean, that's straight out of Saturday Night Live, right? I mean, that could be a Saturday Night Live bit. Like
definitely.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Frasier's coming back. Did you ever watch Frasier? Were you a Frasier fan?
I did. I was a big Frasier fan because I was a big Cheers fan. Cheers is still probably my favorite show of all time. I've seen every episode multiple times. Me and my wife have sat down and watched it all the way through twice, and that's since we've been married. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I started a couple of years ago. I started just popping on Cheers episodes around my kid just to have him be exposed to it, just to see if, because when you're eating, you're not really paying attention. But I like to put things on and just observe like how he reacts to it. Yeah. He found it very funny. Like at 11 years old in 2020, so it's aging well. And I started watching. A few years back, I just started jumping back in and watching random episodes of Cheers. That show really holds up well. But here's my problem, and this is why I never watched Frasier. Frasier was my least favorite character on Cheers. So when he got the spinoff, I was like, I'm not even remotely interested in this guy's storyline. I don't care where he comes from. I don't like him. So I never watched Frasier. I acknowledge a lot of people who I respect greatly love that show. But I don't know. I just never got into it. I never really watched. I
love the character Frasier because the ironic thing about Cheers is they were all such losers. None of them had a real job. None of them were financially successful. None of them even probably had a degree of any sort. And then you have Frasier, this erudite, academic, successful psychologist who makes all this money and lives this great life. And he is the butt of the storylines. Diane leaves him for Sam. And, then going on, he tries to hit on Rebecca and gets turned down. He's just the butt of so many jokes. And he's supposed to be like in the class system of the bar, he's supposed to be up here, but he is just robbing, like proving why he's hanging out with all those losers because he belongs there. Despite all this other stuff, he's one of the losers. And I loved that.
That character also seems to have changed a lot, grown a lot between the first time he was introduced on Cheers and the final episode of Frasier. He was like almost a completely different character. But I mean, that's going to happen because then he's more well-rounded because you've been watching him as a character for years and years. But he was a different kind of guy. And he was almost, it was like when he was introduced on Cheers, he was allowed to be unlikable, but then once he had his own shows, the writers had to make him more likable. So they turned him into a bit of a softer character, a bit of a less pretentious douchebag than maybe he was. So, but I never gave him a chance because I always stuck with the pretentious douchebag. Do you know who had the most insane character arc in the history of television? Dude, do you remember the show Benson? Do you remember Benson?
Oh, yeah. Benson Dupois, right?
Robert Guillaume portrayed Benson. Benson, the TV series, was a spinoff of Soap. Benson was the butler for the Tate family in the 1970s sitcom Soap. Benson was a radical, black, older man in his 50s. And then they gave him a spinoff because his character was so funny as the butler to these rich people on Soap. They gave him his own show and they made him the butler of the governor of a state. So he started out as a guy like in his 50s. Bob Guillaume had to put gray in his hair when he first started playing Benson because he was supposed to be this old, angry black guy serving these rich white people. They made him younger over the years. He dropped 20 years. He went from being an angry radical butler in the absurdly over-the-top situation comedy Soap to being the governor of a state in Benson as the same character.
Yeah, I never saw Soap, but I saw Benson, and he was the voice of reason.
He started out as the butler for the governor, and over the course of the series in Benson, he became the governor.
That's wild.
Right, but if you saw the character of Benson in that and then compared him to the character of Benson in Soap, it's two completely different characters. One guy is like a Black Panther who wants to kill Whitey, and then the other guy is the Benson that we know who became governor.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right, James, thank you. We'll see you next week. If you're around this weekend, I'll have the kids, so maybe we'll do something if you're in town.
Well, we got the guest appearance on Sterling on Sunday coming up again, 10 o'clock our time on Sunday. We should promote that. And then if y'all are not want to waste some more time, go waste it on Florida Stories, my podcast. Florida Stories.
All right, that's it for us. There goes
what's going on in this caption down here. That part?
Yeah. Thank you so much for the reminder. You can tip the show. Treat me like I'm your, whatever. Tip the show. Help it. That's how the show continues. 2 shows a day, noon show, high noon, and then the Pillow Talk show, this one. I'm going to reboot everything here and hopefully the problems that we've had the last day or two concerning our stream and our connection. Hopefully it's just a hiccup because, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of doing these shows. I think I counted. I've done 600 shows. There's 600 different, because I make a little one sheet for every show that I do. And what's it say? It says how many pages? No, I can't see that now. Anyway, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary. I don't know why I mentioned that. I don't know. I really don't know why I mentioned that. Anyway, all right. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon. High noon tomorrow, right here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. Bye. Quest.